And welcome everybody to this rendition here of the OSCL Division 1 action between Darkhorse and ROFS. I am going to be your pilot, your host, your talking head here for the next hour and a half. I'm expecting a good 90 minutes, so that's what I'm paying for. I'm hoping these teams give it to me, and I think frankly we're on a good ground here to get us started with that. So for the next 90 minutes, I'm going to be hosting for you guys today. My name is Night Falcon. Actually, the first time I've had the opportunity to go ahead and cast for these two teams respectively, and so very excited, very happy to have them here on the Falcon cast here at Falcon Studios. But without further ado, we are just getting everybody in here for the last little bit, and so we should be flipping any time. But let's go ahead, we'll jump in here and just have some fun. All right. So to talk a little bit about I'm just going to apologize ahead of time here for my ROFS friends. The logo with the clear background kind of shows up, doesn't show up as well. So you're there. I have you there, bottom left of the scoreboard, but alas, it's a little more easy, a little more transparent than some other logos, but still a great looking logo. Just letting you know that it's there. All right, we're letting everybody go ahead and get into the matchup here. We'll go ahead and turn down our background music here for just a few seconds while we kind of have this dead space here, getting us into the match. Oh, I am looking at pick up digit. Not Donner once. Just making sure I've got this in the right spot here. It wants me to join on Digi, but I don't know if it's digital, Venom there. I just don't want to take up a spot in another squad there. Usually the Artie is the best go here, so we're just going to go ahead and he is the first person mentioned. Sorry, Rum. I know you're going to look back on this, you're going to see it, and you're going to be like, oh, Night Falcon, you freaking idiot. But hey, I didn't see Digi, so I apologize. But nonetheless, here we are, and we are not Road to Glory. Let's get that out of there. Ugh. I've got the OSCL logo. Sometimes as a streamer, you get all these different things going on there, and things get in different corners of the screen, and it's there. But here we go. All right, so we got sound going. It's like everything is going all right. So 12 seconds here till wall drop. Go ahead and just take a peek, see where everybody is. So we got lots of transport trucks coming out of the south here. Loading up on the left side, right side, middle. A couple supply trucks up the middle. We got Lux Snipe going. Lux Snipe not hitting anything, though, it appears, or at the moment. Kind of getting hit right off of the bat, off the top of that hill there. So, unfortunately for Dark, they shot at it, but does not look like any truck went up off the rip here for them. As far as it goes for the Axis side, looks like we got a good number of people coming in. See if ROFS themselves have anything they want to return fire with. A good widespread already here from the Dark members. Mr. Lux sounding off again, going for Sopzilla here in the top of that destroyed building. A very good MG strong spot, but a shot does ring out. Looks like a couple body parts are on the frozen tundra here, so ROFS getting a little hit going into the point already. Did get a Stewart, or sorry, yeah, a little Stewart tank up here right in the front yard here. That's going to be able to hold over the front side of the hard cap. Medium P4 back behind. Should have an angle shortly on that little Stewart. Let's see. As of right now, nobody getting into the hard cap yet. All soft cap pressure for Dark. As another truck trying to get up into the hard cap here goes boom. Already causing problems here on the backside for ROFS. More and more shots ringing out both sides, using the heavy artillery to try to get in as far as they can. Whittle trying to brave the firestorm, trying to get down into that trench line, try to get himself some type of cover to get access onto that. But as of right now, no officers yet into the point. Simply Whittle and Moray. Who is going to win the initial battle? They both entered the trench, but go opposite ways. Like ships passing ways in the night. Neither one of them saw each other, but Whittle's already getting some shots off onto this Stewart tank. One hitting into the front. Will the second one land true? Oh, and Whittle disappears before he can get the second shot off. Moray's still the only man in the hard cap. Waiting for some more reinforcements as the Muhammad looks to move on up. Moray is still taking out and holding that line. Moray doing everything he can to go ahead and hold on to that area. We are seeing some initial cap pressure going in already onto N30 Highway. It looks like due to a Lux that has kind of gotten all the way around on map edge. Moray still doing what they can to go ahead and hold that middle ground, but slowly getting more and more encircled by Little Red Cherries. As always, this is being cast on a 30-minute delay, but if for some reason some volume is too high or it's uncomfortable for you guys on the viewing experience here, just let me know. I'll do what I can to go ahead and get that put in as we see that Stewart finally getting taken out south of the point. Zooming out here, let's take a look a little bit and see where everybody is sitting. So right now, besides Moray being right there in the middle of the hard cap, ROFS is really getting pushed out of that sector pretty strongly already. A lot of areas that we would look to focus on here. I'll go ahead and bring my little handy dandy drawing tool. Power corner, kind of how I like to call that. Hard cap, and then these eastern fields all are being very strongly held right now by Darkhorse. So a lot of the action going on in the initial volleys of those few little trucks that were taken out, really doing a lot of damage here for ROFS as they've struggled to go ahead and try to get themselves back up into the ground. Now, right now, we do have a little Lux that's still floating around here on the backside, causing some mischievous problems back here. He is pointed in the way of the Garrison. Garrison no longer on highway, as capture progress is going in favor of the little recon Puma back here. So Venom doing what they can to dodge this little rabid Puma. It's hell-bent here on trying to cause as much havoc as possible, and frankly, they're doing well right now. Digital Venom just trying to call it out for his boys as Vader and First Lieutenant Deathface continue to put cap pressure on here. Doug's on drugs, trying to find his way back, and Ghosted trying to hold down the line, prevent people from getting past that broken down house. This is going to be a key little area right here. Ghosted and his buddies here with ROFS going to need to do everything they can to hold this area, but Ghosted already getting close pressure from that P4 and Tolkien. Just dipping, ducking, diving, and dodging here. Turn on our X-ray vision so we can see exactly where everybody is as Tolkien runs around the outside, going up the stairs. Ghosted doesn't hear him. Tolkien with a shovel kill. Taking him out as Rangalicious tries to come up and try to reclaim that ground from Shark and Tolkien. Both officers being able to put up probably some element of an OP right now for Dark. Rangalicious, though, getting a first shot on that P4. Help with those new updates and those changes here. This P4 is in danger, already taking shots from a tank on our backside as Rangalicious misses the second shot. Unfortunately missing, medium tank missing their shots as well as Vader appears to be moving on the background. All right, but lo and behold, here comes Vader and First Lieutenant Deathface getting behind after causing so much havoc on the backside. Well, it looks like the medium has been made aware of the presence, but hiding behind the backside of the hay bale. Good smart work here on Vader and First Lieutenant Deathface to try to stay out of the way of this medium Sherman. Using the environment to their advantage. Medium Sherman not aware that they're there yet, but looking. Backing up straight behind, doing everything you can to go ahead. And there's the shot. Gave too much of a side shot there. Medium takes him out. All right, so ROFS continuing to go ahead and lose ground on this western map edge as well. As we can see the guys that we had over here no longer are there and slowly being eaten away, trying to get themselves back into the area. But this right here going to be a big area of focus for ROFS to continue focusing on getting people up. Still, no garrison put back up here on Highway from Vader and First Lieutenant Deathface's actions from just a moment ago. Oh! Juicy Brucey got hit by something. Goes sailing higher than every single tree here in the area. Unaware what it was, but he is now part of the American Rocket team here, the Rocket League here. Or the American Rocket Program, as they say. Finding himself nice and elevated there. Has a nice trade here on map edge. Puppy Xmas helping a brother out there. I'll try to get in as close as I can to all the action. But it ends up being a little difficult sometimes in those trees. I will do what I can to keep providing you as much of an angle as possible for all of the fun little action we have in store today. Noah J with a great rocket, buzzing it by, making a push here, trying to brave the open field. Fortunately gonna fall. First of many as Dunny with an excellent rocket takes out a great push there from Dunny and Akers. All doing what they can to use as much cover as possible there as that OP continues to spawn here. Doug's on drugs. Name I have seen in my killed by screen way too often in the 22nd server. Rum. At least it was a very good looking pose, about ready to throw that grenade when you were shot. All right, so ROFS slowly making progress down this western map edge here. Puppy, Xmas, Juicy Boosie, and Ghosted. Even though Ghosted falling on the edge here. 3-on-3 right now. Soon to be 3-on-4. The Juice already doing what they can to get some good angles here for some MGs that no doubt will be coming. As they say in that movie, Field of Dreams, for my American friends. If you build it, they will come. Just like Rep Stations. excellent overwatch area for this map edge. If you are able to get some type of machine gunner on there, could end up being a long day for ROFS here. But Matthias moving up with the scoped rifle. He's ghosted, takes a shot and hit. One shot, one kill there for Matthias. All right, so we are about 14, 15 minutes into the match. Should start seeing our first heavy tanks roll out, which I can see already here from the ROFS side. We are seeing one roll now. We are seeing the Tiger tank from the top as well. Now, keep in mind, here in OSCL, we are working with only the SPA as far as it goes for artillery. As it currently stands, it looks like the Axis artillery gun there, back behind there, and Foxtrot 4. Moving back into position here to try to get a little bit of an angle. As of right now, I'm not seeing one on the field for ROFS. Let's go see if they are electing to use that at this time. Okay, so it hasn't been... Okay, so they've taken at least the default out. Default not there. So, must have just fallen on the bad side there, unfortunately. One of the things, though, to mention about these 49 versus 49 matchups is they often go from map edge to map edge, and here's a great example of that. As we can see plenty of ROFS members all the way here on the eastern side of the map trying to fight over Dugout Barn here. So far, it's the largest incursion they've had, as we have two recon tanks here, a Greyhound and a Puma, going at it. Each one landing a shot. Second one missing from the Greyhound. Puma hitting again. We're in a battle of the ages. Unfortunately, that Greyhound continues to just kind of splash up rounds against him. Not doing too much damage at the moment. Oh, but Cheese comes in third parties. It takes it away from the gentleman's game here between the two tanks. As Panzer Down appears to have gotten out just in time to try to rep, but fortunately, there's nothing there at the time to go ahead and rep, as that push looks to be fizzling out here a little bit for ROFS. Let's go ahead and pan back over, as we were starting to see some incursions on that far western side here. And yes, they have indeed taken out that garrison. So right now, a lot of vacant land here as a lot of ROFS players try to get back here into the point. Who is going to fill that void first? Lots of ROFS guys running, doing what they can to get there as Puppy Xmas, Blue Knight, Juicy Brucey, Ghosted, and Bob the Builder all looking to set up a defensive front. Bit, Matthias, and Kesner having something to say about that, though. Staring down the barrel. Should see Bip pretty soon here. Taking out Bip. Ghosted with a shot. As of right now, Garrison still located 200 meters away here for Dart. No doubt looking to try to get something a little bit closer here. Let's get down into the trees, see if we can get a little bit more eyesight on the action. Puppy Xmas starts to unload as the Germans begin to take cover here. Apologize, the medium Sherman is what began to unload here. And those Germans that were there all of just a moment ago have appeared to have been disintegrated, vaporized, you may say, by the help of that medium Sherman. Capgun's trying to do what he can. Standing too far in the open, though, and is mowed down, with ROFS getting a good push back onto this western map edge to gain their footing back. How far will this push continue to go, as they have plenty of bodies? Need to get down there about 200 meters to take out that garrison. If they can do that and control this western map edge, that will allow them to facilitate getting more people out towards southern edge. So a small battle, but a battle nonetheless needed here for ROFS to go ahead and win out to just secure this western side. All right, so now that we've seen some stabilization there, let's take a look and see where everything else kind of sits here and where ROFS has been able to gain a little bit of ground. Moving right up the middle of the gut. Number of people trying to get back up into here. Starbucks making a good push and a good effort. Using some cover of some smoke here as the medium tank comes in, trying to hit Tennessee. Tennessee just trying to save his life. Trying to do what he can to dodge that tank, but that smoke round, unfortunately, not going to be able to do too much, but help Tennessee as he looks to get around. Starbucks coming in to try to assist. When will he stop firing the smoke grenades? Yet to be told as Tennessee moves around. Still calling out that medium there. Still continuing to go with the smoke rounds, but taking a shot in the left side armor. What appears to have been hitting him. Looks like a medium shot from Boondocks on the western side, so a great shot on their end that allows Starbucks to finally get in and take out the machine gunner. Whittle looking to do what he can to try to eliminate this threat. Fortunately has to use the rocket on Starbucks there. But Rum jumping out of the tank. Will he be able to go ahead and get this hill back up before Whittle? There we go. Good awareness here. Put an HE round there, eliminate Whittle. Shielded for the time being from this Tiger in the left-hand side of our screen. But that medium Panzer IV looks to have finally gotten an angle on it. One more shot and he might be done. Yes, he is. Clickety not fast enough to try to assist Rum with the repair. But it has at least allowed Clickety to get up. Unfortunately, no spawn able to be coming off Clickety there. Expect a little bit of maybe we see a satchel play here from Clickety. Nope, nothing going on the little red ring of death, so I think we're good. Starbucks able to get back up. So there we go. We see his OP right there inside that trench. Oh, but great placement and coordination by that with the SPA to go ahead and eliminate that OP. Is still there. Is there. I thought for sure it landed right on top of it, eliminating that OP, but I guess it did not. Let's keep in mind those SPAs are able to go ahead and take out those OPs if it's just in the right spot, so it must have just been safe for just a moment. It'll back with 3 full rockets, but that's not going to help him as Starbucks mows him down. But a great SPA round again, already coming clutch for Dark here, who continues to just weed away at that presence here on the map edge. Or sorry, right up the front door. I looked at the map to see what map edge was doing, and map edge came out of my mouth. I apologize for that. As we begin to see more and more members of Dark starting to spawn over here on the western side. Just as I had predicted before, if you had built it, here they come. Warlock sitting up on top. Although it looks like the amount of push that these guys have gotten already, it's not so much of a profitable spot for the time being. Tyus lining it up, takes out Anzac. Juicy Brucey now firing, trying to do what he can, takes him out. Good shooting on Juicy's part. Posted, Warlock posted up. Go ahead and see through the viewpoint here of Ghosted, see what he is working with. Keep in mind, they are not able to see these little red dots. We have the caster's advantage here, being able to see that, but he does see Shark right to his right. Getting the shot, well done. Ghosted on a rampage at the moment as he eliminates more and more Dark members. Ooh, are we going to be able to see him get the tank? Oh, but he gets one into the side of it at least. That's going to hamper their ability to continue trying to push up. Oh, and there it goes. Tank is destroyed with the help of the medium tank that is still there causing havoc. All right, let's take a peek away from here for the time being as more and more Dark members are pushing their way, braving the field. ROFS definitely not giving up the front door, though. They need to hold that alleyway to try to have any type of push here onto the point. But doing so well, doing pretty well, as it looks like we're getting a suicide push here from this medium tank. Let's go ahead and just see what's going on as they see this Tiger tank right here. Are they going to be able to get in and get this garrison? That is the question of the day as BIP starts using his cardio here to try to get around here. Garrison's still up, taking out the truck, getting caught though on boxes, opening the door here to BIP. Will BIP be able to get the satchel on? Oh, and great awareness here from the allies to go ahead and know that that issue was coming up. Garrison there, still right up there, back behind that broken building. We can see the table and fuel cans there. Trying to give as much smoke for cover for Rum to be able to get out and try to help Rep as soon as he can. Cause as much chaos here, but that garrison, don't know if it is locked out with them being as close as they are. I do not believe it would be locked out, but we might start seeing a spawn here any moment. But lurking there in the background, we see the Tiger tank coming up, trying to cause problems. Akers looks to get a shot, seeing the danger come on in with the go up into the top view here. We can see the medium trying to swing around here. Turret for the Tigers, pivoting, trying to keep up. Speed of the Sherman. Just too match for the turret turn power right here. Oh, and just like that, Tiger has made that medium go up in smoke. Unfortunately, we're not able to see and find that garrison there. So that's going to stay on up for Dark to secure their line a little bit more. But kudos. Sometimes in war, heroes are made with pushes like that. You gotta give them you gotta give it a go. Gotta give it a go. As Bob the Builder looks to find his way on top of the building, but allows BIP to go ahead and slide on through. BIP has successfully made it into the trenches. Trying to find any types of spawns that he can, making QOP warm though. Bob the Builder not turning around to look though. Let's follow the progression of BIP here as he goes through and continues to try to push through. Try to pull out whatever types of spawns he might be able to. He's getting warmer. Getting closer and closer. Not close enough yet to make that garrison go warm. There we go, Doug's on Drug and Ringalicious spawning off of it. Does BIP see him though? To try to close in on that garrison. BIP continues to search like a hound dog. Chasing his chasing his what are we gonna say? Chasing his prey. Finds the garrison as Ringalicious turns around knowing somebody is there, but BIP will go ahead and pop that garrison. Ringalicious looking, trying to do what he can. BIP taking out one. Doug's on Drugs. Last man back here. Will he be able to salvage it and take out BIP? Sees him. Doug's on Drugs with a shot taking out BIP. Score one for Doug's on Drugs. That kill brought to you by the DARE program here in America. Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Just reminding you all, just say no. spray, though. Still not giving up on that medium ground, trying to just find his way through, but Ledford able to go ahead and sniff him out. The ROFS overall, after losing so much ground off the rip, doing pretty well to go ahead and maintain their line. Control the main thoroughfares and sectors that they have into the point as this Puma looks to move on up and cause a little bit of a problem. This is another good example here of why you would look to put your garrisons a little bit farther back, because that Puma came and looked right on the line to try to figure out where that garrison was. Whispers of Death able to get one. Clickety missing his shot though, unfortunately. Clickety though reloading. Will he be able to get another one off before he gets too far away? Clickety, here's your time to shine, but unfortunately mowed down from behind. Allowing that man to continue pushing on through. Is right on top of the garrison though. Duty appears to be trying to save it. Garrison though finally removed just as Whispers of Death is able to go ahead and get in and claim that victory here. Luckily for Whispers of Death that he got there just a half a second later. And a bombing run coming on through here for the Axis side. Still no garrison up on highway proper. But a map edge garrison nonetheless has been able to go back up. Doug's on drugs still holding that line down the road. Not letting anybody at this time get on through. Thought I saw an SPA shell pop out there here for the Allies, but set up for firing those in. So keep an eye on that. See if they end up popping anybody into there. Yeah, we do see it. There's Rooster. Our buddy Rooster. That's why. Green. All right, and here we are 30 minutes in, just over 30 minutes in, so we welcome everybody to the broadcast that's joining us as well. Of course, you're not going to see this for 30 minutes. Welcome you nonetheless as this Tiger's starting to get shots off on this medium. It is a 76 taking out the repair station. And the shot doesn't destroy it. Will the shot get him? Using the cover of the wall, running through, getting out, hitting turret, unfortunately. Up again. Next shot going for the 76. Rum trying to get repairs on the backside. And with the great kill, taking that Tiger off the front door. Rum and crew again causing some problems here for the Axis armor. But a kill nonetheless. It will at least take off one of those Tigers. Helping try to salvage these pushes that Dark's starting to get down here onto their highway point here. But unfortunately, they were taken out by the second Tiger that just kind of came in and swept up the crumbs, so to say. Rangalicious trying to get up to this OP, throws the grenade. Shot from Nebraska missing. Rangalicious got the OP. Good job, Rangalicious. Mission accomplished, my good sir. Gave his body for the cause. So, again, appreciate you guys joining us. My name is Night Falcon here. Your pilot, your host, over the frozen battlefield here at Foy today. This week 5 matchup here, OSCL Division 1 between ROFS, ROFS, and Darkhorse. Happy to finally have both these teams on here. Been casting for just over 6 months now, it seems like, and this is the first time I've finally gotten these teams on here. Especially to my friends at ROFS. Appreciate your patience. Had to work and deal with Whippy, Ohio for a while, so I apologize for that. Just kidding. Shout out to my buddy Whippy. Fellow caster here. 22nd, having a monopoly here on casters, it feels like some days. Using the power position to his advantage, Mr. Lukewarm Pickle. Doing what he can to cause as much damage as possible. Noah J trying to follow suit as well with 2 MGs just laying lead down the road here. As Doug's on drugs has finally made his way up to the broken building. Just as an SPA round comes on in, trying to center itself on that target. Being for a rough few moments here if that SPA is able to get that round right to the top of that roof. Luckily for them, it's yet to happen. But landing all around it, so danger close. Don't want to step too far out of it. That is for sure. Ah, nuts. Given the extra push of the Jaws theme song here making an appearance. Shark able to get on top of Doug's on drugs there. Dunny, though, able to go ahead and salvage that. Hit the trade here, allowing Doug hopefully try to get back to that area as soon as possible as that SPA appears to have gotten at least had a casualty of the OP. Like we have a garrison combat situation over here as Warlock and Sergeant Lipton are going at it. Warlock going for the high ground, trying to use it to his advantage. Sergeant Lipton looking around though. Shot going out the window. .76 back on the field as cap guns. The plural form, I believe, of cap guns. Trying to do what he can to cause havoc with this 76 that's made its way on up. Acres and rum. Cap gun has bazooka class. Pivoting to try to go for the garrison first. Looks like he was able to go ahead and slide in between that Tiger, between that 76 and Blue Knight there. Getting his way up into the building, so Capgun's electing not to go for the prize of the 76, but instead goes for the garrison, and it does pay off for him as the 76 is still looking around, trying to figure out where in the world this bad guy is. But 76 is shooting, so let's go ahead and take a look and see where he might be shooting and try to get this tank engagement. See the Tiger tank there in the top of our screen. Very well could be the angle that he is going for. Where is he? Where is he? He's not there. Where are we going? There he is. Let's get the angle there. So, yep. There's Rum and his crew. Straight down the line, middle of your screen, top there. Looks like they did get a shot on it as Merc pops out to try to get a little bit of repair going on it. Coming in from the backside here. So 2 Tigers positioned very well to continue getting a lot. So this is something Dark is doing very well, getting double angles here. One Tiger tank can hide, but the other Tiger tank able to poke out and make that presence, like take out the problem. So good armor coordination here that just continues to leave Rum and crew with problems as they take out one or get shots on one just to end up getting killed by another. So great coordination here on Darkhorse's side. Get these angles lined up. Allow for not only those coverage opportunities, but for those double tap opportunities as well. So for all you armor crews at home, I think that is a good example of coordination, how you really make an impact to take out heavy tanks in a hurry.
Shifty and Goofy Ball, though, with their medium tank already in the crosshairs there. As ROFS continues to... ROFS, they're just continuing to hold. Like, good work for them, doing what they can. They have not yet... They have pushed hard. They have not yet lost this side over here, where a lot of the action is going. Now, since that garrison got destroyed right here, we are seeing that they have been pushed back about 50 to 100 meters based off that previous garrison position. So ROFS slowly kind of get weeded back there as we see that medium tank get destroyed behind us, unfortunately. ROFS armor just having a real difficult time this evening, or this morning, for those of you on the other side of the world here, such as ROFS playing on Sunday morning. Props to you guys. But yes, going back to our menu here real fast. We can see that they're still holding pretty well strong here, but losing ground here in the middle. A squad doing what they can to hold the end here, but very well could end up losing that battle. Let's see if we can get over there before that one is done. And Talon able to emerge victorious there to continue holding that line here for just a little bit longer as Alpha Kilo opens up on top tier guy. Slowly but surely, the ROFS defenders having a difficult time as more and more Puma tanks control this outer flank. And with that making a dip into the point here, Talon gonna lose his OP most likely, as he just works to try to stay alive here, dodging all of the things that this Puma tank's throwing at him. Luckily for him, though, does not have a spotter in that Puma. So Talon able to go ahead and dip, dive, and duck and dodge a little bit easier, knowing that nobody is there in the area. So Talon all on his lonesome here, at least for about 2 minutes at least, as that OP must have just gotten burned. But a great shot from the medium tank hiding in the back. Takes out this Puma holding up on machine gun house. Great work by Akers and Rum, getting themselves up to help out with that map edge. A good looking line here going for Darkhorse, though, with ROFS being very compacted into their various areas, really struggling to try to maintain some type of outward presence. To really stretch their line thin. Good work here as Dark continues to try to force their way in and just holding that macro front line. Really doing some numbers here on the ROFS attackers. And for all of you watching at home, we appreciate any likes, any subscribes you can give to this stream. Here these days at Falcon Studios, we are nursing and onboarding a new intern. So we are lucky to be able to get one of these streams in per mat every week. But to continue trying to do what we can to provide you as best coverage of the Hell Let Loose competitive sphere. Any likes, any subscribes, any shares you can provide to us only helps get your name out there as far as it goes for the competitive scene, as well as get these videos to more and more people to try growing this wonderful hobby, this love of Hell Let Loose that we all share. Also like to give a call out. We're going to try to start resuming our after action reports here this coming Tuesday evening, US time, where we look to try to do a quick coverage of all the leagues going on in the Hell Let Loose community competitive sphere here for the console side, at least. show some highlights, show some actions, goodness sakes, I can't talk. Show some action. So if you end up having a clip from a competitive matchup during the week you would like to share, Ghosted taken out, please feel free, do me a favor, shoot me a message on Discord. You can find me, NightFalcon_17. I'm in many of the leagues, so if you're in there, you should see me as a member of said league and can easily find me to shoot me a DM with a timestamp or a clip that you feel like should be shown here to the greater Hell Let Loose community. As we try to continue to build up that program here as we get nearer and closer to the Summit tournament starting out in April. Very excited to see where that one goes, pitting the best of the best against each other as we try to see who will rise to the summit and who will emerge victorious from the valley. ROFS making a very good incursion here on the western side, pushing back the defenders. Will they be able to get back far enough this time? Inverted Wombat getting closer and closer to the MG house that we saw that Belgian gate get put up on earlier, which appears it has been destroyed. So good work on that portion there. As Jusa, Inverted Wombat, Jusa holding the line, but Inverted Wombat finding a toe tipper there, blown up by the help of a mine. So again, another example there for you little engineers at home. Every single player out there, make sure you are spending some time on that engineer class, popping out those AT mines and those AP mines. Situations like that can really go to help even out a situation where your team is slowly getting weeded out. With this, allowing a few more people to come on back in. Jusa and Tao able to take out the two ROFS guys coming back in. Inverted Wombat having a rough 30 seconds here. Just like that. Give a shout out Tao there, I believe. Did you put another mine down, Tao? Does not look like it, but it looks like you were just about to, so you're thinking about it already. Juicy Brucey with an excellent rocket coming in, missing people, but that time taking out Tao. Rocket landing home as Goofy Ball also throws another one into the mix. And the rocket work right now just causing problems for the infantry here. Let us take a quick gander and see where everybody else is looking at here as Commander Pagey finding himself all alone here on the front door. Gonna do what he can to try to survive and keep this airhead up. Almost have enough to have a bombing run accompany it. We shall see if said action will happen. Thunderbird moving on in. We can see the airhead starting to land. Pagey, will you hear him? Pagey gets the kill, able to keep that up and safe for the time being. No other infantrymen in the area. Tiger tank looking the complete opposite way. Pagey getting a shot on Gentle there. Now moving on up with the rockets. Noah J as well. You can see the numbers being called back here by Dark. Pagey. It has landed and is safe for the time being. Now here's where Commander Pagey can earn his stripes. Oh no, Pagey off to the right. Goes out, Pagey. Turn around, Noah J's behind you. No. Noah J, will they get a spawn off though to save it? Oh, it was so close. It was so close. Almost had it. Hats off to Commander Pagey though for giving it a go. Airhead success rates often on the very, very low side here in the competitive scene, just because you usually have people looking around for them. By golly, Pagey almost had it going there for his team. All right, and unfortunately, outside of that airhead possibility there for ROFS, that entire middle front door push has now been lost. And a giant hole has opened up, allowing Dark to funnel more and more people in here, just trying to tighten that noose around Highway. As it stands, they are sitting in a very good position to be able to start getting some crossfire there onto the western side there of the fields. Akon, Shifty, Goofy Ball, doing what they can to try to continue to hold this area, but it's going to take a minute for a lot of these guys to get back in. This Tiger tank steering right down the middle of this tank. Get one shot on the front. He's going to have to get out dodge quickly to be able to avoid the wrath of this Tiger tank. Shot hitting a tree, though, unfortunately for him. Will he get the return favor? No, he will not, as the Tiger tank eliminates him. Now, see, Warlock going to be able to do a lot of damage up here. Both him and Tennessee. Getting to these high grounds, it's going to force ROFS to get across the field, which is going to just continue to cause problems here for the infantrymen of ROFS. Great rocket from Rangalicious, doesn't get the kill, but man, that got there. Sergeant Lipton, though, was the one with the action there. Right now, all of ROFS having to be concentrated off of two main sectors here. West map edge, east map edge, forcing to come off of G8, all the way G9 off the garrison, try to get back up into Biz-Roy Foy Road. A long, wide open field is going to be a difficult time for have a difficult time trying to get across that. For this angle right here. So with this, you can see definitely a little bit of where those angle lines push, the ebbs and flows that are often present in these Hell Let Loose competitive scenes. There's one side that's pushed back, the other they eventually respawn. Get that push back. And so a few minutes ago we saw Ross all the way down by the angled road by that little shack, and now they have since been pushed back as both teams continue to shuffle people back and forth. So our bird's eye view to the battlefield here, we can start to see a little bit of how that macro is all forming out here. We can see a lot of these guys now that were pushing up on the front door have now since made their way back and are getting into that noose tightening location. We can see on this eastern side of our, or on this right side of our screen. Let me get my little. All right, here we go. So right here, we have seen people coming down this road, and frankly, they've been able to get down to here. This is where our big battle point here over that broken house has been, where Nebraska is. But all these guys have come off of this area right here and have made their way down. And this area right here, this house, Blue Knight has it really cut out for him right at the moment because he needs to hold that. Against the P4, it looks like Whittle, Tennessee, and Ledford going to be looking to try to push on up. Cap Guns doing what he can to try to get up there as well to that western, not a little western shed, but Rangalish is able to go ahead and eliminate him. But with that, corner now going to Dark. Sorry, Dark. Going to Dark. Sergeant Lipton trying to come back up as well. And now with a Tiger tank up there, that's going to cause a lot of damage as it can really now just start funneling things down into point. Good rocket, though, Rangalicious there. Try to even land it close. You can see it got close. Second one ended up just a little bit shorter. Tennessee all now back up into that shack. Really gonna cause a lot of problems here for any of the defenders trying to come up through that area. So with that, Dark doing very well to hold and just slowly grind out. That's something that's often forgot about in this game, is that these matchups can go for 90 minutes. In pubs, everybody wants to go, airheads, backline spawns. You don't get that action. You don't get that availability here because of the group play, the discipline play from these 49s teams, because they do play so wide. Everybody's able to stop preventing things from getting up behind them. But look at this already. Dissecting into the line. This is a big old problem here potentially for Dark here in a moment. Let's look and see what kind of things may come around because of that, because frankly that is a big spear push into the point. And all of Dark's progress could be taken out. Just we're talking about disciplined play here. Starbucks moving up on Zeus. Will he have the power of the bean to help him sniff out that extra power here? No, he does not. He continues to push on down the line. No garrison seen here yet, although it is hiding here behind this shed. ROFS starting to get cap progress as Acres and Starbucks are right in the middle. O Squad getting their way all the way back on the line here. No garrison on point. This is going to force a lot of people here. If they can get that garrison here on the front door, this P4 has now been alerted to their presence. They can get this garrison here. First shot misses, though. It did send Whispers of Death back. Whispers of Death misses the first rocket, unfortunately. Takes one hit from a machine gun and then followed up by the backside power there. Looks like bombing run coming in through back here on an airhead. So right there, we are getting lots of action on both places here. But ROFS moving on in. Cap progress stalled as this P4 moves up into the point. Airhead was eliminated on the backside, so that threat is gone. Just the bombing run causing problems. Did not take any garrisons out, though. So right now, ROFS needing to try to facilitate getting more and more bodies up, but this garrison still funneling people in here for Dark. Really gonna bisect that line. Up to Talon and Carter, sorry, not Cater, my bad. Carter. Will they be able to find this garrison? Riddle with the SCG, not going to be able to do too much, unfortunately, other than just really piss off that tank. As Talon makes his way on through, using the distraction of the tank, will he continue to be able to get on top of this garrison? Talon, no, he's right there. He's going for the supplies. Talon, look around a little bit. Talon, we need you to see this garrison, man. Talon, you've got to hear it. The tank is too loud as Whittle looks to try to get on up, with Rooster manning that SPA right up the front door here. Oh, and with that, Talon gone. No, Talon, my bad, buddy. Rooster ricocheting a shell off the front as P4s look to try to get them into the point here. Good shot from the P4, though. Second one, ricochet. T's ricocheting as well. Oh, but unfortunately for Rooster, his time has come. And still that garrison spawns here. But look at how much ground ROFS has been able to make right up this middle road here. Each squad most likely had their OP up. Most likely been taken. No, each squad's right here. His OP's right here, so he needs to get that updated. Try to get bodies in. Airhead going down here, on point here from Commander Pagey. As it stands right now, final man here for ROFS has been eliminated. But with a little bit of space there, do they have? They got plenty of munitions. Is it available, though? That is the question we must ask. Bombing run coming in as well. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. ROFS has Dark in a frenzy at the moment, trying to get as many bodies back as possible. And inside of that confusion could cause a lot of problems here if there's airheads able to touch ground. But sucking a number of guys to it. Like moths to a flame. Bombing run about to hit. It's going to be just a few seconds too late. Oh, it will be because that grenade goes off and gets that airhead. And top tier guy and Noah J are eliminated. But they did take out a rep station. Count that as a victory, Pagey. But with that action does open it up a little bit to try to give ROFS some breathing room. And we are now back to reestablished here in the middle section. So where we had Dark all the way around this sector, closing on in the bisect here from ROFS, able to go ahead and get a little bit of breathing room for him. E-Squad, though, back on the OP back here. Shark. Oh, no, we are backing it up here just a little bit more. E-Squad back on the point here. Tolkien, Nebraska, Doug's on drugs, and Dunny trying to hold down the garrison. If this garrison goes down, it could be very problematic for ROFS. But we know that no airhead available for at least 8 more minutes here. Or Darkhorse. So overall, Dark had to pull a lot of people back, but they are responding pretty well. This garrison was key, that unfortunately it was not removed. If this had been removed, we'd be looking at an entirely different story, as they would have had no other garrison in the front door there to help them out. But now they're able to go ahead and resume their pushes here. This one right here is going to be the next big garrison in question. If ROFS can get this out and finally control that map edge, that's going to give them a lot of capital space and utility to try to continue just holding down that line. Devote more people up over here in the final 30 minutes to try to make that push. Hop in and see what Ski's point of view looks like here. See his face with that front side P4. Mowed on down he goes. Alpha Kilo stationed on the spent shell casings. Or logs. Are we looking at logs? No, they are shell. Giant shell casings. Lickety and Gentile. Gentle. Goodness sakes. Exchange rocket fire. SQ Gussie coming in on the flank approach here. Mowed down though. Who will win this battle? Starbucks Gentle going at it. Starbucks able to get the shot, killing Gentle. Clickety, unfortunately falling by the wayside as well. Starbucks making his way up into the broken building. Top tier guy eliminated, but D. Muhammad able to take out Starbucks as well, get the trade. Duty and Carter back here. Need to get some help onto this medium here as he is smoking. Need an engineer to get on up. Repair station, torch, whatever it may be. As that Tiger tank now hits it right into the front. Medium missing there, hitting tracks. Looks like may have hit tracks, get that front armor shot, but there we have it. Medium gone, opening the door up here for the Tiger tank. SPA's exchanging blows here. But unfortunately for Rooster, nothing there in the landing area for that shell. Kind of enjoy the SPA arcs here. As we can see both of them firing across this sector here. Oh, there we go. That is the area. Keep going with it, Rooster. A little to the left. They're both already hammering down into this sector. A little bit more to the left there, Rooster. Get a little bit of damage there. Actually cause a lot of damage if you get it just to the left. Soda Bear jumping out with D. Muhammad to go ahead and get reps on that tank. I apologize that my cursor found its way into the middle of the screen, so you had a little glowing dot there. My apologies. How about you, but it's very annoying when I see it, so I can only imagine what it's like for you guys as Gentle, able to move on up, taking out Duty, but missing the OP. Will he be able to push his way farther down the road as he takes out Alpha Kilo and Tunnel Rat? Whispers of Death spawns, though. Now that things have quieted down, unsure if he respawned or redeployed or got shot there by Mori. Nonetheless, he is gone. OP is still up here for Duty and company. Not quite sure where that rocket was going, Elon, but hey, you did it. Just make sure you're watching out for those friendlies down that line. So with 24 minutes left, I'll give you a quick rundown of what action has happened up to this point. That score 3-2. And what we've been looking at as these battles, as these two teams battle it out, trying to just get over the edge there. Dark had a couple trucks snipe. They were able to snipe a couple of ROFS trucks here off the rip, and that gave them a huge advantage to try to get back into that point. I think since then, ROFS has really been able to. They've gotten pushed back. They've had their teeth kicked in, but good for them. They have fought their way back into the sectors and have done. They have done a lot of bending, we'll put it that way, but have not broken yet. They find their way back up into their areas here as the Stewart tried to do everything he can to get up there and damage that Tiger tank very well. He did. Fortunately, not enough to kill it, but he did heavily damage that tank. Still a little bit more left on that Rooster. Striking artillery gold there if you do. But if there was somebody in that grain hopper, by golly, they would be dead. Yeah, Dark has been able to make it as far as this. We'll probably draw this line here around 20 highway. That's about the maximum push that Dark's been able to put down here onto ROFS. But ROFS, at the end of the day, able to regroup very nicely, get themselves reestablished east side, west side, and more importantly, this middle ground here, right on front door, trying to get into southern edge. You can see half tracks already getting put up here for the Axis commander side. Want to have as many spawns into that middle area as possible. Try to thwart any last second push. ROFS might try to get in. Little recon tank here. Panzer down and Butcher made it all the way in the back line. PG trying to do what they can as well to get behind the line. Could end up causing a problem. What often happens in cases like this, matches like this, been a part of any of them, where you you push them out to the boundary, blue-red boundary, and at that point, it kind of get a little overextended. If things sneak through, like Commander Pagey might be doing here, might be able to get a garrison up and filter a lot of guys back before anybody from the dark side is able to even know what's going on. OJ Tolkien, Nebraska Warlock holding up that line though, as the Mighty Mullet, Gunny, and Rangalicious continue to hold their fight onto this broken down house. Little did the farmer know that it would be so important in this Battle of Foy when it was built. Juicy Brucey, though, looks like was able to cause a little bit of damage to this Tiger tank, forcing him to go ahead and get on back. General Bud Patton, though, and his crew eagerly looking to try to do what damage they can. What kind of sightlines will they have? Here we go. Here's our 76. No doubt being marked. We can see the current pivoted that direction, aiming right in the directions of Mert. But unfortunately, the tree cover just being a little too much at this time for them to get an accurate, clean shot. All right, 19 minutes left. ROFS has at least one, maybe two bombing runs left in their pocket. As far as resources go, they have enough to be able to do it. It looks like Dunny has now been eliminated from the back, or not Dunny, but PG has been eliminated from the backside. Ice Squad looks to be trying to get around. Strap 15. He can get around, get that garrison. Could end up being a good feeder in here. As Kaiser and Bip looking around again for that garrison, tries to go to the same location where it was earlier. Bip runs right past it, unfortunately. Bip gets one from the backside there. Really find as the 76 begins to pepper Bip. Ah, Bip did see it. Satchel off. Point was starting to be contested now as the front door looks like it is being pushed in here. I have multiple Dark members that are trying to get back up into this point. We did see the point flicker for just a moment a minute ago. One garrison back inside that point now for ROFS. 76 in hand. H squad trying to get off that OP, but Tau saying no. Will Tau be able to get up and take that out before that next spawn wave comes in? Dunny's able to get back in, but Tau able to just know that he needs to watch that for a few more seconds, takes him out. Front door completely open now for the time being. That supply drop, unfortunately, might end up being a little too close here, as Bob the Builder looks to try to find a spot to hide that little garrison right there. Digital Venom as well. You got 3 officers back here for ROFS trying to do what they can to get this thing 200 meters away. Find a nice little hiding spot for it. Digital finally is able to get a spot up for it. A lot of ground right now being taken up, gobbled up, so to say, by Dark, as they have now been able to move off of that broken shed, that broken house, establish inside these trenches. This tends to be, it looks like, the best angle sometimes to kind of see the action inside the tree. So let's go ahead and turn it on up here. Let's see the action that's going on. how the situation around it is developing. Bob the Builder doing well to hold his ground. Takes out one. Bip continues to return fire. Bob the Builder taking out Matthias. Bip all alone here. Dropping rifle ammo for his compadres. With that taken out, Noah J jumping in to fill the void. But now, look at this. ROFS completely owning the western side as we start to see cap progress coming in on the back side. Let's tune on over, see what's going on there. We're starting to get a lot of action here off the backside line here. R and C squads in full. Garrison and bombing run combination going in. This is the push for ROFS with the bad guys that they have in the back line. Will this garrison spawn cause any damage here on the backside for Dark? We have yet to see. Big garrison spawn coming in just in time to get wiped out by the bombing run. Bombing run taking out the garrison, getting the entire spawn. Airhead's going to land clean. Closest thing to it is going to be that P4. Unfortunately, it did not land in the trench. P4 sees it. P4 takes it out. But don't be alarmed. There are still spawns in the back line here. As Rooster, Juicy Brucey, Acres all up into the point now, trying to spawn as many people off of the one OP now as Dark just is sucking on in. But keep in mind, about 5 minutes left in the game, we should have that available again for a bombing run and an airhead combination here. And unfortunate for Dark, I mean for ROFS, that airhead did not land in the trench, unfortunately. Ended up pushing up right on the outside there, enough that P4 was able to go ahead and see it. C-Squad now having a Garrett and an OP right in the middle. Bip laying it down with the MG42, though. Rangelicious with the shot. Causing more and more things to get pulled on back here with another shot. Rangelicious doing well. Top tier guy trying to find the angle as well. Garrett OP still up inside of the point. Should get another big spawn here in a moment. Rangelicious just doing everything he can to go ahead and hold it. And just like that, gets vaporized. OP is still up. Needing to get that spawn though. Big spawn off. But MG from the south. Tanks to the east. It's a big dangerous go here for the C-Squad OP. Is luckily still up, still going up. So Acres able to go ahead and keep bundling guys here into the point. But just feed him down inside the barrel of that P4. And with that, OP now eliminated. Luckily, Acres is up. Just needs to wait out the cooldown timer. Keep your head down, lad. Don't let them know you're there. OP back up for Acres. SQ Gussie moving on the side south, moving just south of the area. Oh, is taken out. Will this get a spawn in time? Ledford D. Muhammad, big spawn wave. Unfortunately, officer not included in that, and it gets mowed down, never to return. So Dark doing well again to go ahead and funnel as many people back, but it did open up a lot of ground here. It is often not the first push that gets it. It is often the next second or third push that finally does it. And ROFS giving themselves a little bit of light here. But Dark doing very well to absorb it. Unfortunately, the biggest enemy here for ROFS at the moment is going to be that clock as it continues to tick on down. Matthias back here. Just popping guys off as they come off this garrison for ROFS. biggest thing to watch here as we go into the last 10 minutes. ROFS has now been able to get a garrison up here. They can maintain that presence. Continue getting bodies over here into this area. This would be a big location for them to be able to get people into if they're able to take out that garrison and that OP. They can get bodies over there and hold that area. It's going to open it up to give it potentially a little bit higher of a success rate if that airhead is able to be put back in. Nonetheless, though, you're going to have everybody and their dog here for Dark throw themselves back into that midpoint if it were to happen. So you've got to really start thinning them out now. Which as of right now, Dark has entire control over that hard cap sector and that soft cap grid in general. As a reminder, it takes 2 minutes here to capture a point in warfare mode. Cap progress is done from anybody inside the 4 grid squares surrounding that big black circle there inside the point. So anything in E5, E6, F5, F6 will count towards cap progress. So having people there will help. But you need to get them inside the hard cap, especially in a closing minutes, try to push to try to get as much manpower back there as possible. Because that hard cap, again, does provide extra cap pressure for bodies that are inside of it, and alive bodies inside. Not dead. If you're dead, bleeding out, you don't count it. Delicious though, trying to do what he can to cause damage to this tiger, but it looks like he's currently out of ammo, does not have any more as this Puma continues to run circles around him. But Bob the Builder not going to be able to fix that, as that is most likely every single bone in his body is now crushed by that Puma. Team Song not going to help him there, unfortunately. That is something he cannot fix. ROFS, to their credit, still continuing to push and do as much as they can to get to the point. But that clock just continues to tick on down, ticking away. Now, it's 8 minutes left in this matchup. Keep in mind here, in just a couple minutes, we should start seeing that bombing run airhead a possibility here. Plenty of ability on both sides for both of those elements. Plenty of munitions, plenty of manpower. Try to launch one last push, but Dark doing very well to have multiple spawn locations up all around that point. It's going to be very difficult. Those points are often successful, or have a higher probability of success if there are fewer spawns, but Dark doing very well to scatter around. Sure that their portfolio for defense is very well diversified. Those of you that like that kind of language. I may or may not have kind of grimaced a little bit. Had to swallow something back down there with that corporate jargon, but hey, here we are. and eliminate some of that busyness here. We can just see Whittle throwing rockets down into the wide, dense filled white fields here. Lickety rocket in turn as well. The Muhammad, what he can to try to maintain the push here. That Garrison just being the thorn here on this front door push side here. Poor ROFS, just unable to get it out. Multiple reasons, multiple things, multiple times. Tried to go ahead and get that out. ROFS just not able to find it and eliminate it. With a good rocket on the front. Did not splash. Looks like it did hit front track, so that's going to cause at least the Tiger to move a little bit slower. Any tanks in the area to support? No, not at the moment, as both heavy tanks are one heavy tank. One medium tanker currently on front door there. A little recon tank punching way above its weight class here, trying to do what he can to take out this Tiger. Let's see, a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks. So full armor crews with the SPA up for Dark, so definitely leaning on the advantage of the tanks, and we have seen that through the course of this matchup. The armor for Dark just kind of having their way with ROFS, unfortunately. Try to get a little bit closer to the action here as there's a snowstorm coming in, making our vision a little bit more difficult. Now we have Lukewarm Pickle and Tennessee both lining their MG42s up. Just putting up a wall of bullets here on anybody that tries to come down that main road. And we'd see the coordination of the tanks trying to suck back here into the point. Saying nothing is going to get behind them. Peachy has made it all the way back with the half track, but currently all sorts of figured out by Thunderbird and Bergs. That unfortunately will not be able to spawn anything off of it as we round 4 minutes left in this matchup. 2 minutes to start having some type of cap pressure here on the point. There is an army of tanks, let alone infantry, between ROFS and that point. As we hear that half track exploding in the background. There goes one more avenue of possible attack here for the ROFS allied side. Airhead being put up, though, gonna land right pretty much on top of this Tiger, of this medium P4. One last Hail Mary attempt here for the allies. There it is, that's where it's gonna land. As more and more Dark members see it coming. Bombing run about to come in and accompany it as well. Ledford, though, wisely keeping his distance away. Gonna slide on up, take that out. With the pose. Throws the grenade up. Not gonna do damage yet because it was not yet on the ground. But that right there, my friends, is the grenade that's gonna do it. And with that, we are going to see Dark emerging victorious here against the Aussies, New Zealanders, friends over here at ROFS. Close, near and dear to my heart here as I am a member of the 22nd, and they are buddy clan here for us. Hopefully they'll be able to regroup after this one. Get back up on that horse and find out where playoffs takes them here in a moment. Will it be a 4-1 or will it be a 3-2? That is the question we have left to see, as this cap progress was put in. It looked like right at that 2-minute mark, as all the bodies here for ROFS did try to get up into the point. And it looks like they are being weeded out Garrison on the eastern side here, a point. Top progress still coming in. Shark bit moving on up. And a rocket from Cheese is going to seal it here. Question is, will they be able to get it done in time? To end up 4-1 or 3-2. That is what we are going to see here. We need that tick to be right in the middle of that little castle-looking mark on the defense. Looks like we are past the point, so we very well could be seeing a 4-1 here. Unfortunately for ROFS, they've tried so hard for the 90 minutes to get as many bodies into that point to hold it. Oh, and that may have been finally enough to let it hold the tick over for just a couple seconds. As we have a full-on blueberry mass, but I believe that couple seconds of stall contested is going to allow him to stay up as that 3-2 there. So it does not look like they have enough time to fully get there, but hats off both teams. We were expecting a 90-minute matchup, and that's what you guys gave us. Gave us our money's worth. 1 point capture going to Dark in the first few minutes, and that was enough to go ahead and seal it. Both teams exchanging blows, but at the end of the day, here we are. Dark coming out 3-2 with the victory there. Well, we appreciate everybody joining us here. My name has been Night Falcon. Happy to have you guys here on the broadcast. Looking forward to talking with you guys again here soon as we look to try to get into the after action report later this week. But with that, we will let you guys go back to your wonderful regular scheduled broadcasting, programming, whatever you might have in your area. We just appreciate you guys showing up, helping us out. Any likes, any subscribes you can give to the stream are greatly appreciated. Helps us go against that algorithm.